Been a while since I've played this game. What did we do last time? I feel like it was this. With friggin' Jimmy's relay race extravaganza. And poor Carlos, and his gang initiation? Took the money from him after a few days, and after we got initiated, then he gave the money back. Doing what he had to do to find his sister. So this is the last letter we have hanging around here. Carlos again, and someone new. Let's see what Carlos is up to, shall we? Been a member of the Black Dragon Gang for 2 months, but I was still yet to officially meet Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin was the second in command of the Black Dragon Gang. We met once on the day of the fire at Pitt Street 99. He was also the one who had me inducted into the gang. I thought I would be able to get some information about my sister once I joined the gang. Soon I had found out that everyone in my group, including our leader, Mr. Kwan, knew nothing about her. As for Mr. Lin himself, he rarely ever came to number 99 in person. Still, there were some upsides from joining the gang. At least I didn't have to worry about room and board anymore. Well, my Cantonese was also improving a lot. That's a plus. Besides, not everyone in the gang was as scary as one would expect of a gang member. Rand was one of the nice guys. He belonged to the group loyalty team. The group oversaw the loan business. We were essentially the loan sharks of the gang. Oh. Now that I had become a member, I couldn't just coast along without doing anything. But I also didn't want to do wrong things. I told Ren about my predicament during one of our conversations. Ren then told Mr. Kwan that he wanted to bring me along when we went debt collecting. Every time we went, Ren would whisk the kids of the family away first. And I would tear apart their old clothes, spill some chicken blood on them, and mail the clothing to the debtors. Oh. Once we were sure that the debtors had received the bloody clothes, Ren would then make a phone call. Hey, you've got the package, right? I'm giving you 3 days. If you still don't have our money, you'll be getting more than just clothes next time. He sounded like Uncle Juan. Wang, the big butcher at the street corner with a violent attitude. The afro on his head would bounce 3 times to the rhythm every time he yelled at his customers. Oh. As soon as he put down the phone, he would immediately turn into a preschool teacher and go play with our hostages, who were wearing the new clothes we had just bought them. Oh. Ren would get scolded by Mr. Kwan every once in a while. He said Hong Kong was too small of a place. Everyone learned how group loyalty handled the business. It would become more and more difficult to collect the money. Ren never took it seriously. Ren knew that I had come to Hong Kong to find my sister. Even though he couldn't help much, he would always allow me to go and look for her, whenever there weren't any assignments. Every time Mr. Kwan asked about me, he would also cover for me. Just like today, I had been out asking around the whole morning, but I still got nothing. When I got back to number 99, everyone in the group seemed to have a strange smirk on their faces. Ren said that they were going to go and get a massage. Oh. Oh, when the locals want a real legitimate massage, they would typically choose to go to Shenzhen, as it is far more economical there. Yes. And they'd been waiting for me to come back so that they could put me on watch duty. I laughed knowingly. Help yourself to the beer on the table. I paid for those. We're off. Oh, and I almost forgot. There's someone in the room whom Mr. Kwan had told us to keep an eye on. Don't let her get away. Then they left. Oh. The girl was tied to a chair in the corner of the room. There was a cloth stuffed in her mouth. She still seemed very pretty. She looked Asian, but she had dark skin like mine. Her eyes were thin and curly like a pair of new moons. clothes. Her shining black hair draped down from her head like a dark waterfall. She was wearing a purple short skirt. It looked like that skirt had been torn on the side. Well, if Mr. Kwan wanted her watched, I should just watch her. No need to think too much about it. I slapped my cheeks to keep myself alert. I raised the bottle. Then a rope snapped. I was reading the labels on Ren's beers when I heard the sound of a rope snapping. Oh no. If I could turn around, I felt a hand strike the back of my neck. I blacked out. I didn't know how long had passed. A bucket of cold water was thrown in my face. Well, I'm fucked. I woke up with a shudder and opened my eyes. I saw Mr. Kwan standing right in front of me. Everyone was back in the room. They all had a terrible look on their faces. I looked to the corner again. The chair was still there. There were two halves of a rope on the floor. The girl was gone. Oh crap, I had made a terrible mistake. Ren tossed a knife over to me and looked away. I had not been in the group for long, but I knew the rules. If I wanted to stay, I had to do this. I bit my lip hard and cut off my left pinky finger. Jesus. Half the bloody finger dropped to the floor. Blood was still gushing out. Hurt like hell, but I was a man. I didn't make a sound. Who on earth was that girl? Only I had been more alert. Why did he cut off his own pinky finger? It's a ritual in the Mafia and some gangs. If you make a mistake, you must cut off your own pinky finger. Some gangs might even make their new members cut it off before officially joining. What? That's so scary. Carlos. Well, shit. So we need to keep Carlos more alert, so he does not lose his pinky finger. Oh, my name is Park Sang-gun. I'm 12 years old. I live in Korea. My home was on a hill. There were a lot of similar old houses on that hill. The one that was the highest was my home. There were good and bad things about living there. The good thing was, since our house was so high up, we got to be farther away from the other houses, and so we had a big yard. However, I had to climb the stairs for over half an hour every day just to go and buy my dad a bottle of vodka at the convenience store at the bottom of the hill. If I didn't go, my dad would get angry. He would beat me with his bat. Oh no, child, oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh no. It wasn't just me either. He would also hit my mom too. Oh no. Oh no. I never understood why he would do that. I just wish that if we could figure it out, maybe Mom wouldn't have to be beaten anymore. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Dad was a road construction and maintenance worker. He used to come back home with mud all over his clothes. For the past 2 months, he always came home clean. No work. Sometimes he would bring back some money and give it to Mom. Oh. Other times, though, he would take some money out of the pot, where we kept our food money. Mom always worked very hard. She had to wash a lot of clothes and sheets during the day for other people. She said she was getting paid for washing them. I really wanted to help Mom, but I was too short. I couldn't even reach the pole where she hung the clothes and sheets to dry. Alex came by today. He lived on the hill, too. Alex was Russian, just like Mom. Oh. They both had blonde hair and blue eyes. Just like me. The other kids who lived nearby didn't like me at all. They always said that I looked weird. Only Sue Mee from the bakery would play with me. She had once told me that she wanted to open a cake shop together with me. Oh! But I didn't like cakes. Oh. There was an ant nest in her yard. I was watching the ants carrying things into their nest. I bet they must have a very big home. Suddenly it started raining. A large raindrop almost blocked the entrance to the nest. I went back inside to get an umbrella, then I came back and covered the nest. Mom and Alex were taking the sheets back inside. Oh, thank you, Alex. Then Dad came home. He was Korean. He had black hair and brown eyes. He was back earlier than usual today. Oh no. I have fear. I saw Alex there and take the umbrella away. Oh. Alex left. Mom went into the house with Dad. I followed them inside as well. I don't like this. Dad slapped Mom in the face and pushed her to the floor. He took a rope out from the cabinet. The rope was wrapped around her neck and choked her. 5 minutes later, I grabbed onto Dad's arm with my whole body. But I couldn't stop him. He was too strong for me. Dad kicked me in the stomach and shoved me off of him. I fell and crashed into the corner of the room. Bastard! Dad called me that word a lot. I used to ask Mom what it meant. Oh no. Oh. She told me that it just meant bad child. Dad finally let go. Mom collapsed onto the floor, but she didn't get back up. It was as if she had fallen asleep. I tried to shake her awake. I tried as hard as I could and shouted as loud as I could. She would not wake up. I heard the door open behind me. I turned around. Dad had run out. I didn't know where he was going. I held onto Mom's arm and cried. Why? I had always been a good child. God, please let Mom wake up. I promise I will be an even better child. I promise I will never be a bastard ever again. Park Sang-gun. Holy fuck! God damn! Holy... Well, if the rope snaps, then we can save her. If the rope doesn't snap here, what happens 5 minutes later? Okay, let's see how this plays out. The rope fell out of Dad's hands. He was about to pick it up when the doorbell rang. Oh! Dad then went into the yard. It sounded like Alex had brought some people over to intervene. Oh, Alex! He had once tried to do it by himself, but he was badly beaten by Dad and kicked out. Holy shit! Never dared to come back on his own since. When Dad returned from the door, he seemed to have forgotten about what was going on. He just gave me a kick when he walked past me and went straight to bed. Jesus! Mom sat on the ground and cried. I climbed over into her arms, just like I always did. Every time Dad lost his temper, we would huddle together like this. It was the only way we could make ourselves feel better. We were lucky enough to get through it this time. But what about next time? How long did we have to keep living like this? I hated to be so scared all the time. I wished I never had a dad like him. Oh, Mr. Kwan had come back. He pulled up a chair in front of the girl and sat down. He began asking her questions. Ears had come back from the massage as well. We were all standing next to the wall. No one dared to make a sound. Mr. Kohan's questions, I learned that the girl's name was Yi. Mr. Kwan had only met her recently. Mr. Kwan had even bought her an apartment. Mr. Kwan was a tough man, but he had always been very gentle to women. He had never slept around either. Therefore, he couldn't tolerate being betrayed by this woman. A few days ago, he had found out that he had been hanging out with people from the Blood Gang. He began to suspect that she had been approaching him with other intentions. He decided to find out the truth. Mr. Kwan dumped a bucket of ice water on her head. The air conditioning had been set to max power, and at 16 degrees Celsius, it was blowing directly at her. Every time she would not answer a question, he would cut off some of her hair or slap her in the face. Oh, jeez. He was quite tough, though. Her mouth had started bleeding. Almost all of her hair had been cut off, and she still hadn't spoken once. What the hell? Mr. Kwan was tougher. He sent Ren to fetch him a bottle of white flour oil. He twitched off the cap. Forced Yi's eyes open, was about to drop it into her eyes. That doesn't sound good. Yi was shaking uncontrollably, and tears were welling out of her eyes. She was finally broken. Mr. Quan was right about everything. He was not just a member of the Blood Gang, he was also the niece of their big boss, Mr. Chang. That wasn't what had angered Mr. Quan the most. He hadn't seduced him to infiltrate group loyalty for our loan business. She was only trying to get closer to the other groups of the Black Dragon Gang. She had only chosen Quan because he was single, and therefore an easier and more convenient target for her. The Blood Gang had never cared about the loan business at all. Mr. Quan was outraged, feeling incredibly insulted. Carlos, take care of this bitch. Oh, never let me see her again. Oh. Oh. Okay. So we got Carlos's rank S. How many endings do we got here? Okay, 6 endings each. Does this change? That does change his ending. I must stop that. Climbed up onto the table and smashed the vodka bottle onto his head! He suddenly stopped and fell to the ground on his back. Something dark and red was coming out of Dad's head and onto the floor. This seems... Mom sat back up. Her face was pale like a piece of paper. She coughed violently for a while and cried. Carefully climbed off the table and ran into her arms, just like I always did. Every time Dad lost his temper, we would huddle together like this. It's the only way we could make ourselves feel better. We didn't know what Dad would do to us when he woke up. I wished I never had a dad like him. Park Sang-gun's story is so sad. Yeah! Why is his father so cruel? Why would someone kill his own wife? Thank goodness we could help him. Who knows? Maybe his father was mentally ill. Maybe he's having work troubles and just decided to... Still, if you feel the need to take out frustrations with your wife on your loved ones, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. That's... Humans are easily stressed. Some people would ease their stress by exercising, overeating, or smashing things. Some people, however, become twisted. He was so young. If only he hadn't had a father like this. If he never had his father, he would never have existed. You're right. Does that mean that I had a father too? You are a god, so of course not. Don't overthink it. Get back to work. This is rank S then? Yep. Okay, I can live with that. Alright, what's next?
Meow.
Cat!
Meow.
Cat!
부처님, 나도 좀 도와줘요.
Oh. Cat! There's a cat! We did see the cat in the opening, but I can't believe there's a cat. Well, let's see what you're up to at the soap opera. I thought the lieutenant would commend me for resolving a crisis on my first day. Instead, I was scolded in front of the entire office as soon as I got back from the scene. I was even told to write a discipline report. It had to be at least 10,000 words long. I had always hated writing. I'd rather run 100 laps on the field. I decided to simply Google similar reports online without the lieutenant noticing. After lots of copying, pasting, and rearranging, I finally completed the 10,000 word report. I felt exhausted afterwards, so I went to the bathroom to wash my face. I still feel the impact to my organs after falling on the cushion. Fortunately, I was fit enough to endure it. A regular person would have probably had to stay in the hospital for a few days. I looked in the mirror and saw the band-aid on my face. I gave myself a proud smile. I was just getting out of the bathroom when I witnessed something incredible with my own eyes. Lieutenant Kang was holding a folder in front of him. Even though his face was mostly hidden behind it, I could clearly see his expression from where I was. The cigarette he had in his mouth was slightly twisted. Some watery stuff was coming out of his eyes. They were, without a doubt, tears. Is this really the eccentric dictator that I had been hearing about? And should I leave the room now? Should I? Should I? Officer Me and June had left the office a while ago. The lieutenant must have thought I had gone home too. He saw that I was still in the office right now. Would he kill me for seeing all that? I was still struggling with the most difficult decision in the history of mankind when Lieutenant Kang closed the folder. Quickly hid in the back in the bathroom. Didn't come out until I heard him walking out of the office wing. Looked around the office and realized that I was alone. Couldn't help but start walking closer to Lieutenant Kang's desk, without even realizing it myself. I couldn't help but start walking closer to Lieutenant Kang's desk, without even realizing it myself. The folder was still on the desk. It was a red folder. It said Archives of Criminal Investigation Unit 2 on the cover. Unit 2. I heard that a few years ago, the entirety of Unit 2 had been killed in a violent incident. Afterwards, Unit 2 became the only unit in the Busan Police Criminal Investigation Department that had a designation but no members. What happened to Unit 2? Some people called it a ghost unit. Due to the severity of the case, no one in the station would talk about it, especially the older officers who had been at the precinct when it happened. Why did Lieutenant Kang care so much about Unit 2? Had he lost some colleagues during the incident? Wait, why did I care? It had nothing to do with me. I should just mind my own business. I went back to my seat, created a new document on my computer. Then I typed the title, Unit Transfer Request. I couldn't think of another word afterwards. My brain was totally blank. I must have been worn out after writing that damn report today. I was training my brain to figure out what to say next when a big hand slapped my shoulder. Yo! The new guy at Unit 4 is working hard. Wish my people could be half as diligent as you. That voice sounded as loud and as powerful as a booming bullhorn. I almost jumped out of my skin when I suddenly heard it behind my back. I turned around. It was Lieutenant Kim Jong-ho of Unit 3. I stood up from the chair quickly and gave him a salute. He waved his hand. Young man, no need to be so formal. Go take a bath and rest in the spa. Don't work too hard. I checked the time. I didn't even realize it was almost 11 p.m. Oh, the spa room inside the precinct was even bigger than my apartment. It was incredibly clean. It would be incredible to finish the day with a hot bath. I breathed in the steam, looking forward to a relaxing evening. I took off my clothes and stuffed them inside a locker. I closed the locker door and turned around. Lieutenant Kang was right there. Oh, he just got undressed. He was in great shape, with lean muscles all over his body. I didn't want to admit it, but when he was not screaming at me, Lieutenant Kang was actually a rather handsome man, despite being a little disheveled. I used to hear a rumor that, despite his peculiar personality, he was still able to keep his position, in no small part thanks to solid support from the female police officers in the Criminal Investigation Unit. I guess that made sense. I'd already witnessed the female officers from other units smiling at the lieutenant in the hallway quite a few times on my first day alone. Why didn't anyone smile at me? Speaking of which, not only was Unit 4 a small team, it was also a sausage unit. Well, we had an awesome female officer in the unit as well. I hadn't talked to Lieutenant Kang after he yelled at me that afternoon. And now we were standing in front of each other, completely naked. This was not awkward at all. We got in and out of the hot tub after a spa session that seemed to last forever, and we went back to the locker room. We put on our clothes and we were about to leave. We never said a word to each other the whole time. I was hoping that I could relieve some of the tension between us. May I write a letter to him? Why? I want to ask for a picture of his boss next time. Myth, no. I suppose I was too naive. A piece of soap appeared out of nowhere and stopped near us. He reached out. I was taking my clothes out of my locker when I heard a noise. I turned around and saw what had just happened. My eyes involuntarily looked down. I looked back at myself, then looked at the lieutenant again. This time, our eyes met. Cherry blossoms flew through the sky. And I could see something menacing in his eyes. Oh my god! I didn't do it on purpose. And I didn't even see anything. Okay, fine. I did see something. It was kind of impressive. But I didn't mean to. It was very impressive. I was so screwed. Even if my request to transfer was approved, I wouldn't be able to get out tomorrow. Maybe tonight, Lieutenant would just kill me. Please, Buddha. Please tell me. What should I do? What exactly did he see? Myth, no. I have no idea. Zheng Gungmin. That's some... Okay. I was a stray kitten. Daddy called me Spotty. Daddy was like a daddy to me. He was an older homeless cat who had always taken care of me. Ever since he found me, he would always bring me with him wherever he went. He had given me my name, too. He had told me it was because of the yellow spots on my tail. Whenever he found some goodies, Daddy would always let me have the first bite. He would stroke my head and tell me, "Kiddo, help yourself. You're only 3 months old. You need more food to grow up." I always liked Daddy the best. Today Daddy was going to take me to the hill and catch some birdies, but it started raining heavily. Daddy said that because of the rain, the birdies wouldn't come out for their sunbath today. So we had to go back to the street like yesterday and look for some goodies to eat. I hoped we could find more tasty chicken legs and fish steaks, meow. Like in the wild, there are many, many two-legged animals walking on the street. Daddy told me they are called humans. Because of the humans, the street was always very crowded all day and all night. Sometimes when we came to a place where there were a lot of humans, a few female humans would excitedly meow at me. What a cutie! If I let them touch my head with their paws, I could often get some goodies too. But Daddy always warned me to keep my distance from them. Daddy said that humans are not to be trusted. The street was just across the road. You could see the shop with the fish sign from here. We had to wait for the light to change. Oh no. Daddy explained that the traffic laws in Korea are very strict. The fine is over 20,000. We were caught. Even if we turned in all of our hidden dried fish treats, it wouldn't be enough. Yes, they're going to find cats. And there were many iron beasts running so fast in the streets. That's the thing to be afraid of. Daddy said those beasts are made by humans and they are called cars. They're very dangerous and we must be careful not to get hit. So we must obey the law, meow. The light finally turned green. I sprinted a little and went ahead. Daddy followed me slowly. He was a little old and he had been injured before, so he couldn't see very well. The beast near us suddenly let out a huge roar of bang! And smoke came from underneath it. Cats, do they have pointy ears and a long tail? Yes. And they know how to watch the traffic lights? Yes. They know how to write letters too? Good question. Maybe they can write their own language. We are gods, so we will always receive the translated version of their letters. That's fascinating. I wonder what the original letter looks like. The beast's teeth, though, have suddenly become shorter. It was charging directly toward Daddy, screeching and screaming. It was green light, meow. The ground was covered with water, and it was very slippery. It heard a sound like slip. I looked back. He had slipped. I ran over trying to grab him. The beast ran over Daddy in an instant. It didn't stop until it was almost at the crossing. The human kid opened the door on the beast and ran toward me and Daddy. Please help, Daddy. I meowed at him for help. The kid tripped just a few steps away from us. I recognized him. His name was Park Sang-gun. He lived nearby. We often got goodies from him. He was a good kid. He would help Daddy for sure. He kept meowing louder and louder. A few more adult humans in white coats followed him out of the beast. I thought they were all coming to help me and my daddy. They stopped at where Sang-gun fell and pinned him on the ground. While they were trying to drag him away, I saw a big dark red scar on the back of his neck. I had seen people in his home beat him. I didn't know he had been hurt so badly. What Sangun was dragged away by the white-coated humans and thrown inside the beast once again. What? The human just ran away. The beast just ran away. The whole time nobody had even heard me meowing for help. I saw Daddy lying in his own blood. I almost couldn't recognize him anymore. I cried. Please take Daddy to the hospital, please? Someone? The humans walked by, glanced at us, and kept walking. It's like they couldn't even see us or hear us anymore. The humans covered their noses as if they had seen a dead rat. They were not like this before. They used to like touching our heads with their paws. Why? Why? Was Daddy right? Were humans really not to be trusted? God. Please help Daddy. Spotty. This is so fuck. Ah! I get to deal with this idiot. And poor Spotty. God, that was painful. And that's... I'm not sure if that's comforting to know, or concerning to know that the two most painful stories so far, the two most painful stories right in a row, are connected. Spotty and young Sangun. What happened to little Park Sangun? That he's been dragged away. Is he gonna fucking end up in the hospital somehow? I'm afraid. Okay, what? Well, let's make our boss fall down. That can only go well. I don't... Okay, that didn't change Spotty's ending. I'm just gonna change this idiot's ending. Lieutenant Kang rolled his eyes at me and stood back up by himself. He then got dressed and left the locker room. Frozen stood there like a statue. Did I just do something that I shouldn't have done? No. Did I just forget to do something I should have done? Oh god, I had no idea which it was. Oh boy. Was my career over? Rank B. Okay, we need to... Okay, that's gonna change both endings. Lieutenant Kang rolls his eyes at me and rolled his eyes at me and stood back up by himself. Then got dressed and left the locker room. Frozen stood there like a statue. Only I'd reached out to grab him sooner. No. I should have gone and picked up that soap. Oh boy. Is my career over? Daddy jumped ahead just in time and the beast missed him. Lucky. The beast kept running with smoke coming out from under it and ran straight into the next crossing. It was another red... What is happening? Oh! Oh jeez! I saw the beast hit another smaller beast. The smaller beast was knocked off its path and it hit a third beast. Oh no! Soon the crossing was filled with all kinds of beasts, every one of them barking loudly. Eddie and I turned away and kept walking toward the street. That seems also bad. Okay. Oh god, that's a lot of endings. Doesn't seem like any of them are, Okay. Okay, that's gonna change this guy. Pulled Lieutenant Kang up to the floor. Well, should I say something? That hurt Lieutenant Kang? Didn't sound appropriate. I was still thinking when Lieutenant Kang swept away my hand. Mumbled something, then turned back to his locker and got dressed as if nothing had happened. I went back to my locker in silence too. What did the lieutenant just say? You could see that his face was all red, maybe because of the heat. Perhaps he was just saying something like, "Shit, it's so fucking hot in here." That must be it. Well... Okay, at least we can see... So, do everything, and we get ending A. So, we have to run over and try and grab him. In order to get any of the... This is going to be really dumb, but what if we do nothing? What if doing nothing is the best ending here? Okay, that's going to be a bad ending for Spotty, but... The locker room was filled with steam that was drifting through from the spa. Oh, that and... the same awkwardness. We remained silent until we both left the locker room. Something to relax myself, but I felt even more tense now. Bad. Oh, rank C. Okay, let's just start again. What is that gonna do? No, that didn't do anything. Well, we're getting more of our police dramas. Melodrama endings. I accidentally caught a glance of Lieutenant Kang when I was taking my clothes out of my locker. Wow, his body was really top-notch. It was still wet, and drops of water were streaming down his skin. For any woman in the world, I was sure that Lieutenant Kang's hotness must be off the charts. I didn't know what had gotten in me, but I reached out and grabbed his arm. You could admit that you got that your lieutenant is hot. There's no harm in that. Oh, Lieutenant Kang acted like he had been shocked. He punched back immediately without even looking back. Then he saw that it was me. His face turned totally steely and green, and his eyes were filled with anger. Never sneak up on me from behind. Ever again. My nose felt like it was on fire. I could feel blood coming out of it, but I didn't dare wipe it off. I had to stand there with one hand pinching my nose and watch the lieutenant left his locker room. Bad! So that did nothing there. Nope. Bad. So how do we... Okay, that's gonna change Spotty. The beast slipped into the water and turned onto its side suddenly, like it was drunk. Oh no. Daddy jumped ahead just in time. The beast missed him. Lucky. The beast had run into the rails not too far ahead, and finally stopped on the grass. Soon a human walked out of the beast. He seemed to be okay, and just started yelling while checking the beast's round feet. Look at the beast. Its body had some words on it, but I couldn't read. I had seen the sign next to it. I used to go hunting birdies with Daddy in a place far, far away. It was deep inside the mountains. And on top of the hill there was a building that smells like drugs. Daddy told me that it was a hospital. It had the same sign as the one on the beast. An ambulance? I remember thinking that the hospital looked kind of a little strange. The humans inside didn't look hurt at all to me, but none of them would smile. Some of them would burst into laughter or tears all of a sudden. They all look a little strange, not like the humans we met in the city. Humans were so strange. Oh. An ambulance. An ambulance? Okay, so what? What is that if this is S? So... yeah, that's S, so there's no hints. Stood back up by himself. So what if we... nothing. What if they both fall? Nothing happened. Okay. Okay, that's... A is where everything happened. Okay, so as long as Daddy doesn't slip. Okay, what if we do that? Nothing? What the hell? I mean, do I really want to get his best ending? Okay. Will this really do anything? That... okay, that will do something. Sure. The round feet of the beast happened to step on some soap. What? The beast suddenly turned to its side like it was drunk. Daddy jumped ahead just in time and the beast missed him. Lucky! The beast continued to charge ahead like a snake. The ground was so slippery, it tilted to one side and slid ahead very fast. Finally stopped after it hit a lamp pole near the crossing. I saw a human kid fly out from the front of the beast, smash into the ground. It was lying there, not moving at all. Oh no! The kid had yellow hair, reminded me of a few foreign humans who lived nearby. He was too far away, I couldn't see his face. I could only see the blood spreading out beneath him. More and more people started to gather around. Daddy shook off the rain on him and quietly said to me, "Spotty, if I had been hit, the humans wouldn't care at all." I mumbled. I was still in shock. Daddy led me away from the accident and continued to the street. Well. Okay, we're rearranging things here. Jesus, how hard can it be to get your friggin'... Our hint here is that... Bad. Bad. Bad all around. Okay. Oh, okay. That's new. Oh, I accidentally caught a glimpse of Lieutenant Kang when I was taking my clothes out of my locker. Wow, his body was really top-notch. It was still wet, and drops of water were streaming down his skin. For any woman in the world, I was sure that Lieutenant Kang's hotness must be off the chart. I didn't know what had gotten into me, but I reached out and grabbed his arm. Oh. Lieutenant stopped wiping his body and looked back and noticed me staring at him. He seemed to be asking me with his look, "What are you doing?" What was I doing? Strangely enough, I had no idea what I was doing either. Couldn't believe the air between us could get even more awkward than earlier in the spa room. This was a complete disaster. I knew I must let go of him immediately before this went even further. Before I could move. Lieutenant Kang reached out with his hand and grabbed my arm. I didn't know you were too. What? Let me take you to a great place. What? After we left the station, Lieutenant Kang took me to a bar. I would never have... Oh. I would never have guessed that after that day, the relationship between Lieutenant Kang and I would turn into something completely unexpected. Well, rank... Oh. Rank Z. Okay. That was unexpected. God, we're gonna get every stinking... Oy vey. I'm happy for them and their budding relationship. But we need to get... we don't want that to happen. So, just Slippery and nothing else. Okay. As long as he doesn't slip. Bad. Bad. Also bad. Okay, so... just experimenting. If he reaches out, then essentially we lose. So, soap. Well, then again, that's still S, right? Yeah. Okay, let's... So, what all did we do here? Very slippery, he had slipped. Very slippery. Soap appeared. He slipped. Nothing. Very slippery. He slipped. Oh, pardon me. Very slippery. The soap stopped near us. He reached out, and I followed suit. So, soap, slippery, he slipped. I didn't do anything. God, why is this such a pain? This is gonna be one that... So if I back out of this... Nothing. Fucking soap opera. And we still haven't got Spotty's best ending, too. It's not blacked out, so we didn't miss anything. We're just... I do not comprehend. It's... I think I'm gonna have to try this one, figure this one out for next time. Hold on. Lieutenant King took out a hairband and tied his messy hair together. Noticed two small dot-shaped scars on his left shoulder. It's almost like he had been bitten by a vampire. Suddenly shuddered for no reason. It was so strange. There was nothing extraordinary about the scars. Why did it have such a strong reaction? Could it be? I kept thinking about this on my way home. I continued thinking about it in my bed. I still couldn't figure out the reason until I fell asleep. Oh. Well, we can only get better from here. Let's try that again. Next time.